I think any of you guys can relate to me when I say this, but the most annoying place for us to be as creators are at locations that just have so much to offer and we cannot film there unless we had permits. In this video, I want to talk about permits. Why do they exist? How do we get them? And how do we maneuver around them? Wagwan, my name is Tyski, and if you're new to my channel, I'm a creative filmmaker just spreading my creative vibes. To start off, what are permits? Permits are issued by the governments to allow the filming of a motion picture. Every city and state has these sort of councils and office that handles the filming permits. So when you're with a team, that's the location scouter's job. But now for the most important part is, how do you obtain these permits? Step 1, select your location. Some counties might have their own film permits and it differs from the city's permits. So double check on that for where you're at. Step 2, secure your insurance. You have to show that you have some form of liability, so if any of your gear breaks or your crew hurt themselves in any form of a way, it's not the location that they have to go through and they don't get sued by us as the creators. And you can find some form of insurance with the link down below that you can check out for yourself. Step 3, submit your application. Once that's all taken care of, you can move to step 4, conduct outreach. Now this one's important, especially when you're dealing with a populated area that has too many people when you want to control the space by cutting off the streets and letting the residents know that you will be filming there. Now, as a YouTube and a freelance videographer, I find this to be not in our entitlement because we don't need something that big. But if you're filming with an actual dedicated crew with a large budget and you're gonna need this road on a busy street that's normally busy, then you're going to have to get cops involved. They block off the areas. You tell the residents they can't come here on the specific day. And sometimes even parking and certain parking lots won't be available because it'll be used for the crew. Well, that's conducting the outreach. You would have to map out the area that you're gonna be filming in, and you don't want any pedestrians and people that are not part of the set to be in that area. Step 5, arranging payment. That would just finalize step 1 through 5 pretty much. But there's other questions as well that I always think about. When will you need a permit? When you plan to film in a well-known area like a private property or a historical site location, that's when you're probably gonna wanna consider to get a permit. After spending an entire day working at this mansion with my stepmom, we couldn't have filmed there at all whatsoever until we had our own permit. Now, because we were together as a group, I kind of just piggybacked off her back and just dealt with the fact that I'm the videographer for under her permit, even though her permit was specifying as being a photographer. But at the end of the day, they weren't gonna know. Specifically for us, that permit at that location was only good for an hour at the price of $220. Yeah, I know, kind of high for literally an hour. But every permit does have its own price and its own hour time that you can use within that time frame. But hearing that price just alone, you can probably guess how much it's gonna cost to shut down a whole street to film. Bro, you're looking at like 5,000 plus with only like probably 3 hours max. I don't know, I might be wrong. However, do YouTubers actually need permits? No, if you're using it for personal use and you're not monetizing your video, but that's what the Cali law says at least. Yes, if you're filming with a group and you're commercializing your video, then most likely you would need a permit. But as for most of us people that like to save that cash, how do we maneuver around those permits? That will be guerrilla shooting. Disclaimer, this is for education purpose, so I don't condone people to go out there and risk them times, but if you do this at your own risk with this education. Guerrilla shooting, a form of independent filmmaking characterized by ultra-low micro-budget, skeleton crews, and limited props of whatever, using any resources, any location, and any equipment to portray your film. It indicates shooting on a location quickly before anyone else notices what's going on, meaning you're keeping a low profile. But there's 4 ways to execute this process. Step 1, scout your location without having any gear on your bag or the side of you or whatsoever. When you're scouting your location with no gear on, you're gonna be less obvious. Knowing that you can't film in these specific locations and you're on foot, so you're not able to just leave your gear in the car or whatsoever, having the lightest gear that's not gonna make you look too noticeable that you are a filmmaker is probably your best option. Step 3, exceptions. This one is super crucial for you to just get over, but you have to expect that you're probably gonna get 1 or 2 shots before you get stopped by security. So if you didn't get what you wanted, chances are you're probably gonna have to wait later until you come back, or that's just pretty much it. Step 4, have a main memory card and a fake memory card. This could save your footage. It's not likely, but don't take my full word to it, that the chances are the security asking you to delete the footage that you just filmed. So that's where a fake memory card versus your real memory card and sleight of hand will definitely help you out a little bit. But another option to that, if you have one SIM card, is just to have one video of your camera recording on another camera, showing that you're deleting and formatting that other camera. But since it's within the same screen as your camera, I think you can see where this is going with the B-roll that I'm showing. It's pretty sneaky. But depending on where you live, 99% will not get you in cop trouble.
To be clear, if you're in an area that's open to the public, then chances that you will only get in security trouble. But if you're in a private area that's completely locked off, then chances are you could run into cop trouble.
Now, if this video gave you some insights about how to get permits, then feel free to like this video if you liked it. And if you want to see more content like this, then feel free to subscribe. It's entirely up to you guys. Once again, my name is Tyski. Make it do what it is, what it doesn't. Stay safe out there, and I'll see y'all in the next video.